All right, welcome back everybody to the Vendor Voices podcast. I'm Corrigan.
I'm Sammy.
And we are here for another episode of Fun Wedding Topics. Today, we're actually going to be doing a Would You Rather challenge about different wedding things and if Sammy or I would rather do one thing or the other thing. And we have a pretty fun list here. But first, Sammy, how's your 2025 starting off? I know we're still early in the year. How's it been for you?
It's been good. It's nice having a little bit of a break from the busyness, the chaos of the wedding season that was wrapping up at the end of 2024. And now I'm just kind of enjoying a little bit of a break and, getting my ducks in a row for 2025, updating my website, updating all the things,
100%.
enjoying some downtime as well. But the grind never stops. So here we are recording another podcast.
We're doing it.
Yeah, but it's fun. How about you?
Well, I've been in the throes of wedding planning
Oh,
still.
yeah.
So the holiday season obviously just wrapped up. We were planning to get ahead during the holiday season. Actually, the opposite happened because we're so busy with family and
that's
traveling different
understandable.
places. But one of the most recent things we just got done yesterday was actually we had all of our save the dates printed and we
Awesome.
got envelopes, and actually big shout out to Reagan for this. She hand wrote all of the addresses on these envelopes.
Oh my gosh.
My job, thank goodness, was just collecting everybody's addresses. Like if you're on the list and we don't know your address,
Yeah.
I need to send out a text and get
Yeah.
the address and add it to the form and stuff like that. So I was
Yeah.
doing a lot of typing, which is more my skill set. She was doing the handwriting. My handwriting is god awful. And so I was like, please take this. So yeah, we got that sent out, and you actually got your save the date today
Yeah,
too.
I did.
So
It's so
we didn't even
cute.
have to mail it. I just
Yeah,
handed it right to you.
perfect. I know. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
One less address to have to mail out to.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Also, still also the same. I'll kind of echo what you're doing right now. I'm working on a new website, actually, not to be announced just yet, but probably in the next episode, I might have a minor announcement, actually a pretty major announcement.
Hey.
Just starting a new foundation for a wedding company that I've been not idolizing,
Ideating?
ideating.
Yeah,
There it is.
dreaming
That's the
about?
word.
Yeah.
Dreaming about the last few months, and that's finally coming to fruition this year. So I'm
so
super
exciting.
excited. So more news on that probably in the next episode.
Yeah.
So anyway, should we get into these Would You Rathers?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's dive in.
Okay, our first Would You Rather. Corrigan, would you rather shoot a wedding with no timeline or a wedding running 2 hours behind schedule?
Well, here's the thing. You can have no timeline and still be 2 hours behind schedule. You
Touché.
just don't have the schedule to run behind. I feel like I would rather run 2 hours behind schedule, honestly, because we at least there's more of a foundation. I've personally also just never shot a wedding without a timeline. So it's I'd rather know that we're 2 hours behind. So maybe we know to we can rush this part to try to catch up. There's a little thing we can do this a bit quicker so we can make it to the reception on time or something like that. I would rather just know that there's a timeline. I've run behind a lot of weddings. I feel like a lot of weddings run at least a little behind most times. There's some moments where
Yeah,
you're
there's
falling
always
behind
a
in this
little
part,
bit.
but then you're caught up by the end of ceremony. You're like, oh wait, we have extra time, even though we were running behind in the morning. So I'm definitely used to the concept of running behind. 2 hours is a lot. The
2 hours is a lot, for
a
sure.
major difference. The ceremony might need to be pushed back or something. I don't even
Yeah.
know. I think I would pick that one though, because I just like to have a timeline.
Yeah, I think I would rather have a timeline as well. I definitely don't want to be running 2 hours behind though.
Yeah, I would be freaking out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll jump into it. This is going to be a
Okay.
rapid fire episode, by the way, guys. We are going to be looking at our phones just to pick off these little Would You Rathers, but it's going to be rapid fire. We're not going to spend a bunch of time on each one, just so you're aware. So, Sammy. Oh, this is an interesting one. Would you rather photograph a wedding with 500 guests? That's more than I've ever done, by the way. That's a huge guest count. Or an elopement, just the couple?
Ooh, both are really fun. I think an elopement, because the couple is, together the whole day. And so for their sake, I think it's just fun because I'll have their attention the whole day. I can take as many photos as they want. Whereas when you have 500 guests, there's a lot going on. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of wrangling going on, trying to get, peel them away from their guests just for a couple photos at golden hour sunset or whatnot. But honestly, that's a tough one because a wedding with 500 guests also allows for so many fun, candid moments too.
That's true.
And there's so many like interactions with your friends and your family that you just don't get if it's, you know, an elopement or just a very small civil ceremony. So, what about you?
I feel like I would echo the same. I hope we don't agree on every single one of these, but I would also probably do an elopement. I've shot a wedding this past year in 2024 that was just over 400, so it's like it still gave the same energy as like a 500 person wedding, because like what's the difference between 400 people and 500 people?
At
Like
that point,
it's still a big
it's
wedding.
huge.
So again, there's great candid moments, but again, like there was I guess it pulled away from like my experience with the couple a bit as much, because obviously everyone's trying to pull their attention
Exactly.
every which way. And I feel like an elopement, I really want to do an elopement in like a sick national forest or national park.
Ooh,
Like
that
I
would be
love
cool.
those. So I would go elopement.
Ooh, yeah, that would be really cool. I love that. Let's see. Would you rather deal with a bridezilla or a vendor team that's unorganized?
I would rather deal with a bridezilla for sure. I think if you are dealing with a bridezilla, and I've dealt with a few in my day, like, you know, if you have a team that's organized though, it's much easier to deal with.
That's a good point.
I will say, like, I definitely feed off of the energy of the couple throughout the day. Like, I'm a pretty emotional person in the aspect of like, you know, if you're walking in and the bride's like, hey, what's up? It's video. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, I do like that. So it is like kind of really hard when I'm dealing with like, you know, there's different levels of bridezilla, right?
Yeah.
But, again, if you have like an organized team that's like, okay, we've handled this before, we know how to turn this situation around. If it's like, you know, there's a lot of soft skills in wedding photography and videography where it's like knowing what to say in response to someone who's like breaking down in the morning getting ready or something like that. If you have a team that's organized and professional, like we're able to turn like a bridezilla into like a super happy bride. So I would say
Yeah.
organized team.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good point. I think I would probably rather a team that's unorganized.
Okay, our first
than a
difference.
bridezilla. I think it's just kind of to your point though about like feeding off the emotions. It's just like, you know, the vendor team is one thing, but I can control myself, and like I know that no matter what, like I can still come with a happy attitude and a good attitude. And I can deal with the ebbs and flows of, you know, maybe the florist is a little bit late. It's definitely annoying to deal with, but on the other hand, dealing with a client that is, you know, really a bridezilla just kind of makes the day not as fun. And
Yeah.
I feel like everybody kind of feeds off that if they're just, you know, not in the best mood. But to be honest with you, like I feel like most brides that I've worked with, even if they had a little tendency to be kind of bridezilla-ish, on the day of their wedding, usually that goes away because I feel
Yeah.
like they're just so excited. It's the day of the wedding, you know,
That's
and
true.
they can kind of just, okay, everything's been planned, everything, you know, everything
Okay.
is set. So, yeah.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that was kind of like either or. It's like sometimes you just have both.
Yeah.
Some days you show up and it's both.
It is both.
So
That's real. That's real.
That's just how it is. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I didn't even finish reading this one, but I'm going to pick it. Would you rather lose your main camera on a wedding day or your memory cards after the event?
Ooh. Neither? Do I have to pick one?
You have to pick one.
Oy.
Oh gosh, that's
I mean,
terrible.
I'm gonna. That's both of those are nightmares. I think. I mean, I'm gonna like put my own little spin on this, but I would rather lose the memory cards after because I know that I back them up right away, and so I'd rather know that I have the backups
That's the right
and then
answer.
lose them.
That's the right answer.
Then lose my camera on the day of the wedding because then there's no photos.
You found the right answer.
Yeah.
I literally was
found the
re-looking at the
loophole.
question because if you were gonna ask back, that's the question I
Yeah.
thought. I was like, wait. I thought it said the day after. It does say after, so I'm like, okay, it could be like
Yeah,
the
like-
ride home or something
Yeah,
like that.
or like a month later. Or something.
Yeah, I'm like after, like if it's the day after, it's already already backed
backed
up.
up,
So I'm like,
for sure.
that's the right answer.
Yeah.
We found the loophole
Found
there.
the loophole. Would you rather work with a super creative couple with no budget or a high budget couple with a very rigid vision? Do you want me to read that one again?
No, I think I got it. I think I would go creative.
Yeah? You'd
Yeah.
rather super creative couple that doesn't have a high budget.
I'd definitely go creative. I mean, I've done, I would say, I've worked the better half of the last decade in the luxury space, and I think any time that I have like a personal wedding, like a friend of mine's getting married and it's like a super like good friend of mine, they're like, do whatever you want. Like, let's make like an office teaser. Like, let's like do like some bloopers or something like that. And like, it's a lower budget, but it's like, they just have that vision. I just like really enjoy those. And so I think I would go with that. It's not all about like huge budgets. I've also noticed like a lot of my friends, maybe it's just because I know them personally, so I might be a bit biased, but I'm like, whenever it's like kind of a lower budget wedding, but they're just like getting married because they're just like so like, everyone getting married is like so crazy in love, but I don't know what it is about like just like a super like grassroots wedding in a way that I'm just like, wow, this is it. I don't know. That's my honest answer though.
I would have to agree. I would rather work with a super creative couple and, you know, have to work around budgets and try to come up with a custom package that works for them versus somebody who's like has, you know, an unlimited budget but very, very rigid. Because, I mean, part of what is fun about photography and videography is the creative aspect. So, you know, but it also depends on the vision. Like I don't mind a rigid vision if the vision's
is immaculate, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'd rather a vision than no vision.
Totally.
Right? I mean, because that's tough too. When the couple's like, I mean, it's nice in one respect when they're like, do whatever you want. Yeah. But I like to know like what you're going for.
Totally.
Like at least some inspo, you know?
Totally. I get that. I think when I said do whatever you want to, it's more of like, where you're able to like go through the planning before the wedding and like figure out what it is we do want to do. So it's not like we figure it out on the day of or something like that. Oh, interesting. I have no idea. Oh, actually, I do have my idea. Okay. Would you rather, I don't know why I'm thinking in my head first before reading out loud. Would you rather have to use only film cameras or only your phone for an entire wedding?
Ooh. Film is something I've definitely been getting more into in the last couple wedding seasons, and it's a lost art in many ways. But it's such a slow process, and you can't see the photos until you get them developed, like 30 days later. So I would much rather shoot on iPhone, honestly, because I can rapid fire. I can get every little moment. I can.
Plus, have you seen some of these new phones?
Yeah, I mean, the cameras are honestly pretty great. So
there was one wedding videographer I followed on Instagram who she started on iPhone, stayed on iPhone, and she's like, that's her brand. Really? And people love it. So I'm like, and this is not like, this is before content creators were a thing.
I was going to say, because the content creation is
This is like iPhone. Your wedding film is shot on iPhone. I don't know if it's edited on iPhone, but like, you know, and it looked decent. You know, it didn't look like bad at all. Like, I think she had great work. I think though, again, this is weird, my answer, because I actually don't have much like film experience. When I think film for me, I'm thinking like Super 8 cameras. I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? And that's like insanely expensive. Again, like the turnaround time would be like way delayed because it's just like, it takes more time. But I think I would love to at least, if it's for one wedding, I'm going to go film. Because it's like something to switch it up for me. I'm like, I'd love to like, you know, give a super aesthetic, like film roll type of video. Actually, a good friend of mine was, her wedding film is completely shot on film. And that was like something like she knew the videographer and he was like, hey, I'll shoot your wedding for free, but I just got this like film camera. I haven't had a booking with it yet. I want to like use your wedding to like add it to my portfolio in a way. And it turned out looking really cool. So.
Cool. I mean, but that's also something you could always like edit and post, right? Can't you make it look like a film
but it's different.
edit? It's different though. I know.
I definitely could. But, you know, I just personally would love to have like the experience to actually shoot on film. I just need to get a Super 8 camera. I think this is me just fanboying and just want to get a Super 8 camera.
It is a cool thing to be able to do. But to use only that for the whole day, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to work with a couple that like knows that's what I'm doing, and the deliverable is going to look way different than my highlight. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to get like all their speeches. It's going to be more of like a teaser. Yeah. It would probably look more like an extended teaser, you know, and the couple would have to be like chill with that. So.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. Would you rather capture the ceremony in a downpour or the reception during a blackout?
What does that even mean? A blackout? Like
if
what?
all the power went out?
Oh, in the build. Oh, reception. I was thinking ceremony both ways. I was like, so the power goes out in the building, we're outside? No.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So would you rather capture the ceremony in a downpour or the reception during a blackout?
And the blackout, obviously, like if I bring external lights, they wouldn't even work because it's a blackout.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, I'm going ceremony. I have on-camera light.
Okay.
It would actually look like such a party if everything else is black, but just the people in the frame are like lit up by like my big like flashlight kind of thing above my camera, because that's battery powered.
So you mean reception?
Or
You would
yeah,
go with
reception.
during
I
a
would go with
blackout?
reception over blackout because also
Oh
like
yeah, you can put your battery
yeah,
on camera.
and I don't want to like risk. Also, like a blackout doesn't affect my camera. Like I couldn't like damage my camera because of a blackout.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
fair.
like if it's a torrential downpour and my gear gets completely soaked,
Yeah.
even with like the measures I've taken,
Yeah.
I'm going blackout.
Yeah. This is also a tough one because it's like you wouldn't really rather either of those.
Yeah, for
probably.
sure.
But
If you have to pick though.
yeah, if I had to pick, I would say ceremony in a downpour
Okay. Why?
because I just think that even if it's raining, you know, if under the right circumstances, like we can get a tent, we can get,
Sure.
you know, I can get something that covers my camera to protect it,
Sure.
or have an assistant hold an umbrella while I'm like photographing.
True.
Versus like, you know, reception in a blackout, I need natural light. Like I'm a
Yeah.
natural light photographer. I mean, I can use off-camera flash and on-camera flash, and I have all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I use it when I need it. But I just love the look of natural lighting as much as possible.
True.
And so a blackout would be tough. I don't know how the photos would turn out as
You
well.
would still kill it in a blackout. I'm thinking
Yeah.
with your flash photography too, like you would. I've seen like I know you're more of a natural light photographer, but I'm like you would still kill it
Yeah.
either way. I was like kind of torn there too because I'm like, oh my gosh, imagine how cinematic slow motion rain would look, and I'm like, like I don't know, I think that would look very moody. Okay, let's get a few more of these. Would you? Oh, this one's kind of an easy one, but I'll throw you a curveball or a softball. Would you rather have to wear formal attire all day or be stuck in shoes that hurt? There's a right answer here.
Oh, definitely formal attire.
Yeah.
All day.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, I'm already wearing formal attire all day to a wedding. So.
I personally like wearing formal attire to a wedding
Yeah.
because it makes me like feel my best. I feel like I
Yeah.
look, you know, when I match the vibe of the group, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to wear just like all black. And, you know, I started off my career doing this. Like I worked for a company actually where you would have to just wear completely all black. And I looked more like, I almost looked like I fit in more with the server, like the catering staff
Yeah.
than I did with like, you know, the wedding party who I'm hanging out with all day.
Yeah.
And I feel like as
Yeah,
I've
you
kind
show
of
up looking fly. You got your suit on,
do,
your suit
yeah.
jacket.
I was like, I'd rather kind of like blend in with the people that I'm like working right alongside all day than like, you know,
yeah.
I don't know. It just makes me feel more confident in myself. I'm very confident in my filming. You know, it just
Yeah.
makes me feel like that.
Plus,
and
wearing
plus,
shoes that are uncomfortable would not be fun.
I've done it before. I've done it before.
Yeah.
I've accidentally packed wrong shoes, and I'm like, well, I'm wearing them.
Yeah. I this summer I cut my foot on the bottom of the ocean, and
gosh.
I had a wedding to shoot like the day after I got back, and it was tough. I was like walking around the whole day like with this massive pain on the bottom of my foot because I cut the bottom of my foot.
Oh my
gosh!
gosh.
And not even the right pair of shoes helped with that. So
Yeah,
I would
that's
definitely go with
terrible. That's just
formal
awful.
attire. Yeah, for sure.
Do we have a few more of these? I know we're kind of
Yeah.
wrapping up here. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Let's see. I have.
Oh, yeah,
one
you
for
have one.
I think this might be my last one.
Okay.
Would you rather have a wedding where every moment is perfectly planned or one that's entirely spontaneous?
I'm gonna go perfectly planned. I know like that might almost like contradict with like my answer of like low budget creatives versus high budget, like, you know what I'm saying, that earlier question. But I think perfectly planned again, like I think I reiterated it though in that question, like I would want to have a plan for the creative ideas, right? Like I feel like just a wedding goes better with a timeline, with a plan. I'm going perfectly planned.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's good to have a structure.
And there's a
in
way to
place.
plan spontaneity.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as a candid, you know, documentary style photographer over here,
Yeah.
you know, I'm curating, I'm helping to curate those spontaneous, candid moments as
Yeah.
much as I can that feels natural. And, you know, I'm looking for those spontaneous moments. Like I want there to be spontaneous moments throughout
Totally.
the day, you know. But having structure and a plan is always a good place to start.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
This was fun. I want to throw in one quick reminder, guys. We do have a giveaway going on right
Oh,
now.
yes,
Over
yes, yes.
$10,000 of value in this giveaway. Check out our Instagram at The Vendor Voices. It tells you everything about how to enter. If you're a
Yep.
couple getting married in 2025 or 2026, feel free to enter that contest and possibly win free wedding photo and video coverage.
With myself and Corgan.
Dream team right
Dream
here.
team right here. Yep.
So make sure to check that out at the Vendor Voices on Instagram. Check out that pinned post, and it will have all
Yeah.
the details.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Happy planning.
Bye.
Bye.